Oh my goodness, here we go again, folks. It is Sunday afternoon as I'm recording this, and I am live on YouTube at the moment. I hope some of you will join me there. If you are catching this somewhere else, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the little notification bell if you are interested in knowing when I'm going live. So I got a few more things to talk to you about. The world is continuing to spin forward, and we got more things to do if you own a business. And we got to think about it and get ready, and I want to help you out with that. So we're going to start talking about that right after this. All right, if those of you who have not joined me before are wondering, my name is Levi Sauerbry. I am the Nerd Butler. I am here in the Nerd Cave, as you can see on the sign over that shoulder. Left, right, that way. And I like to talk to people about the technology that you use in your everyday life and how to get more out of it. But as things have been progressing in the world with coronavirus, obviously COVID-19, we're looking at a world in which travel is going to become on an as-needed basis. And in some places, if you saw the news in Italy today, they've already locked down about a quarter of the population of Italy in an attempt to control the spread of things. So I am not one to panic. We have some extra food in the house. We have some extra water. I'm going to go pick up some extra bleach as disinfectant. We're going to take some what I think are sensible precautions, but we're not going to go crazy because the world is going to keep moving, and we're going to need to keep getting stuff done. So one of the things that a lot of businesses are going to have to face is the fact that their employees may not be coming into the office. Even if you're all local in an area, there's several states already that have declared states of emergency. I think the travel restrictions we're seeing are going to become more pronounced and more restrictive as we go along. If you're in King County in Washington, I think you're probably already telling your employees, hey, maybe don't come into the office tomorrow for any reason, much less if you're not feeling well. So last time I was on, I talked about a lot of large tech companies that were offering collaboration tools, specifically a lot of video conferencing tools that were going to allow companies to be more nimble and be able to do some things during this time that they hadn't before. But there's so much more to it than that. And I want to talk to you, especially if you are a business owner with that falls into the small business category. Now, small business, depending on how you define it, can be a lot of different things. But one of the things it is a set number of employees, and typically it means that there is not as much infrastructure in place as there might be in a Fortune 100, in a Fortune 500, in an international conglomerate. If you have 25 to 50 employees and they come to an office on a regular basis, you're used to things working a certain way, and very soon things are probably not going to work that way anymore. So a couple things that you need to think about. How are you going to distribute information? Not just in an inbox, because people get lots of emails. They don't always check. They don't always triage those things accurately. So communication is the first thing. The second thing is the collection and display of information, specifically information that can change pretty rapidly. If you're waking up every morning and reading the headlines to find out how the situation in your locale has changed, you need to communicate that. Now, when I had school-age children, when I was in school, we would wake up if it was a snow day and we would listen to the radio, and there was one station that we knew was going to have the announcement first because we knew where the superintendent of schools was going to call to make the announcement. So we would sit there and listen to the radio and wait. That's not very effective for your business. And again, email is not the way. You can ask people to check email, and that's a great stopgap for a short-term solution, but eventually they're going to start ignoring those messages and just not seeing them, and they'll miss something. What you need to have is an intranet. Now, we all know what the intranet is. If you've not been in a company with an intranet, you can think of it like an internet just for your company. So it's a place where we could store files. It's a place where we can make announcements. It's a place where we can facilitate conversations amongst a group. Microsoft SharePoint is a very large platform for this. There's a bunch of other ones. An intranet is a wonderful place to put information up in a permanent or semi-permanent way. And it's also a good place where you can update information on an ongoing basis. And then you just tell your employees, I need you to check this particular web page every day for the latest information. You don't have to email us. You don't have to dig through and hope that you got an email. It's one central place where we update our information, and then we know that everyone has access to it and can get the information whenever they need it. So an intranet is a good place to start. You can break the intranet up into a couple different components. One is communication. So you could set up something like a message board, like a Discord server, if you're familiar with that. There are lots of others as well. Discourse is one that I'm looking at currently. There are some pieces of intranet software that also have messaging and forum capabilities in it, but some kind of message board where, and maybe you use Slack in your organization. If you already have tools that do some of these things, stick with the tools people are happy using, because you know they're going to go back there for the information. So we need a place to store and present information. We need a way to communicate with folks that isn't just the inbox. And specifically, we need a way to communicate with folks in groups. The third thing I'm going to really suggest for you is that you start thinking about putting together a wiki. I think everybody has heard of Wikipedia. A lot of people have not used a wiki as a tool for themselves, and they're really powerful. And I want to try and convince you a little bit that it's more than just a place to make announcements. It's more than just a place where people can go and get information. The really powerful part of a wiki is its interconnectedness and its ease of use. So it's very easy to set up a wiki. And as you start adding documentation to it, you can highlight certain words, and those words become pages unto themselves. If you've ever clicked through on Wikipedia, you know exactly how this works. Sorry, the printer just went off as someone's getting rid of some information. So a wiki is a really great place for you to start putting things like your sick leave policy, like your HR documents, like your disaster preparedness plans. If you don't have this stuff online somewhere yet, it's going to become really important that you get this stuff out there. If you've never created a disaster preparedness plan, if you've never created a stay-at-home day plan, it's time to do that now. If you haven't done it yet, it is time to absolutely give it some thought and get started. So the biggest thing I want to make you start thinking about today and as the week goes forward is, what do you need to do to prepare your company or your team, if you're a manager, to prepare them for the changes that are absolutely going to affect all of us? You need to have a place to collect information that you can distribute easily. You need to have a group communication tool that everyone can access. And you need to have all this stuff set up and running in a collaborative environment where everybody can get to it. So I would like to offer unto you that if you need help with any of these things, if you just have questions about anything I've been talking about, or you have other questions that have popped into your head in light of what you think you're going to be facing as a business owner, as a team manager, or even as a senior executive at a company, the email address is on the screen. Give me a shout, levi@nerdbutler.com. I would love to have a quick 30-minute call with you just to answer a couple questions and see if there's something I can do to help you out as a consultant or as a service provider getting some of this stuff set up. We can bootstrap this stuff very quickly and very affordably. And it is always better to start sooner and maybe do it slightly imperfectly than to wait and try and get it exactly right, because the situation is evolving so rapidly that there's not going to be a right answer. It's just going to be who can get information to the people that need it quickest and in the clearest fashion. So give me a shout, levi@nerdbutler.com. I will be here. I will be back for more videos as the weeks go forward. I am sure we are discussing a lot of options internally within our group about how to handle this. We're already remote anyway, so we've got all the tools, but how can we help you? What can we offer to you as a business owner or a manager to help you cope with all of these changes that are coming down the pike at us really quickly? Guys, thank you so much. I will be back again probably within a week as more things come up and events warrant, and I look forward to talking to you. Please leave a comment, subscribe to me over on YouTube, check me out on LinkedIn, the other place I'll be posting this video. Leave a comment if you have questions, or like I said, shoot a note to levi@nerdbutler.com, and I would love to chat with you. We'll talk to you all later. Bye.